I'm DJ Sam I Am, and you're listening to WMTN LP 93.1, 103.1, and streaming live on sasradio.org. This is the voice of the mountain, and next, it is time for Headmaster's Corner, a student-run radio show right here on WMTN, giving you the lowdown on all things SAS. From interviews with our head of school, Carl Scholand, to faculty spotlights, Headmaster's Corner is what you want to listen to. And right now, we are joined with our new faculty member, Mr. Wallace.
Hi. Thanks for having me. Sorry, I'm leaning into the mic again.
No, it's fine.
Appreciate being here.
So, do you want to talk about what all classes and things you teach here?
Sure. I am teaching 11th grade U.S. History. I'm teaching 9th grade Historical Studies. I'm teaching 7th and 8th grade Adventure Education. And I will be teaching the 8th grade class ID8 next semester. And coaching-wise, I am head coach of the girls' varsity soccer team right now. And I'm either going to be an assistant basketball coach or an assistant soccer coach for the boys' team in the spring. Wow,
that is a lot.
Yes.
So, how are you enjoying teaching so far?
It's been fantastic. It's what I thought this place was when I interviewed and came to visit for the first time. You can just feel sort of a special sense of a community. And even though I have been overwhelmed a few times by responsibilities and work and learning a new system and all that, it's a place that really reaches out and supports each other in just a fantastic way. So it's really been a special start for me.
And how are you adjusting to SAS?
It's been a little bit of a challenge. I have lived pretty much my entire life in Nashville, and moving up here, my wife and family are still back in Nashville, and we've been managing the commute back and forth on the weekends and sometimes on the weeknights and figuring those things out. And Sewanee it's St. Andrews is a place where there's kind of it's not a secret, but there's kind of a known way of doing different things, of whether it's filling out a form or what space to go to or what time to be there, and everybody kind of knows it. And so sometimes I haven't even known what question to ask. But at the end of the day, everyone is so supportive and taking care of each other that it's even when there's been a challenge, it's always felt just fine.
And do you live here on campus?
Yes, I am in Warner St. Mary's.
So how's living here on campus like?
Well, sometimes it's fantastic. My commute to my classroom is about 4 minutes of walking, which is really amazing. And the fact that St. Andrews doesn't start first period until 8:45 in the morning, which is held up by scientific research that teenagers need their sleep. I'm sleeping an hour and a half later per day than I was in my previous job, so it's been a fantastic setup in that way. It's weird. In the one hand, being in the apartment is really cozy and comfortable and easy to access everything, and it can get lonely sometimes too. So I miss having the family around, having my dog around, that sort of thing.
And what is your favorite thing to do on campus when you don't have teaching to do?
Well, I'm really looking forward to getting involved in hiking in some of these trails, but in the end of May this year, I had knee surgery, actually had a full replacement of my right knee, and it has been a long road back from recovery. It's kind of amazing. When I got up here for the start of soccer season on July 29th, I was severely limited in my motion. So I've come a long way in the 6 weeks I've been here, but at the same time, I've really not had the ability to go out and enjoy the trails. So the timing may work out perfect as the soccer season comes to a close and the leaves begin to change for fall, where I really may get to enjoy those hiking trails.
Have you gotten a chance to go in the res at all?
I have not swum in the res. I've been to the res, but I know how popular it is. In fact, I have a former colleague from Nashville, and he went to the university, and he's a cross-country coach. He wants to bring his cross-country team up to swim in the res as sort of their end-of-season celebration. So it's funny how the reputation, the fame of that place carries, not just here up on the mountain, but down in Nashville as well.
Yeah, I certainly enjoy the res, and I will probably be swimming there tonight if the storm gets any better.
Right. Don't go swimming if there's lightning, but yes,
Yeah.
it's with the rain we're having today. The water will be high.
Yeah, and scouts were working on like getting some of the younger ones to finish taking the swim test.
Ah.
So hopefully we can do more water-based things once they get that finished.
I also, Mr. Short did a presentation for the new faculty and showed like these caves and different sort of interesting features throughout the grounds around here on our property. So I'm really eager to go check those out as well. Has your scout troop been to any of those caves or anything?
We've been to various ones in Sewanee, like we've gone to Solomon's Temple and Tunnel, which are both incredible. We went while it was raining, and there was like a waterfall inside one of the caves that we got to see, that was pretty. But I haven't really seen any on campus other than like Widow's Crack and Indian Shelter and such.
So he showed us a map with some of these locations and how some of these caves have been used by the Native American population, and then some illegal activities going on, maybe during Prohibition sort of activities going on. So it's really just interesting. And I don't get me wrong, I don't want to go deep in a cave again. I've had that experience. I can just go. I want to still be able to see light, not full darkness.
Yeah, I can understand that. I mean, we usually bring lots of headlamps and stuff, and we were crawling through this one bit where we had like this much room between the floor and the ceiling, and we made it to like an opening, and we played various card games because I had one of those like waterproof decks of cards, but it still got all covered in like clay and stuff. But I certainly think it was a very fun trip.
Not for me. My last caving experience, I had a similar where I was crawling on my stomach and my back was touching the top of the cave. It was not going to do that again. And then everybody's asked me, well, have you tried this restaurant? Have you tried this restaurant? And I really haven't. I haven't eaten out much with soccer practice and the dining hall on campus, the convenience of it. I haven't been out much. So maybe when soccer ends, I'll get out and sample some of the local restaurants here.
Yeah, I still haven't gotten a chance to go to this place, Lunch.
I've been there.
Yeah,
It's pretty good.
I really want to, and my friend Griff works there as well, and I've considered getting a job there myself, but I just don't know when I could possibly do it because I am quite busy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is he a student at
Yes.
SAS? So work is, even though it's called lunch, it's open for dinner?
Yeah, it's just more lunch-based meals, I'm pretty sure. But-
They have bread too.
Yeah.
Very tasty bread.
Griff says there's a lot of good food, and apparently there's a lot of perks to working there. But
A buddy of mine's daughter worked at a bread company this summer for her summer job and brought home the leftover bread day after day after day. They said they was making everybody in the house fat because they kept bringing home these awesome pastries and things each day.
So, what all are you talking about in your various classes? Like, what are you discussing in history?
With 11th graders, it's such a unique time with the election here to be teaching U.S. history. And so Mr. Phillips teaches the other section of it, and we've talked a lot about what we're going to do. But we've been reading the Constitution in class and going through and looking at the amendments and talking about what our rights and responsibilities are. And it's just kind of an interesting time. And I want my students to understand the Constitution, understand the election process, and be able to make informed choices and be able to be a real active participant in our democracy. So I skipped over a lot of some of the topics I might have covered in an American history class in years past at the start because I wanted to be sure we had done the Constitution and civics before the election season comes in. Although no one in my class is 18 yet, but they'll all be voting in the next election cycle.
Yeah. So how would you describe your teaching style? Like, what do classes look like, and what are homeworks?
Well, it's
stuff
interesting,
like that?
especially here at St. Andrews, where our class periods are so long. You got to walk in with more than one idea. You got to be able to pivot during the class and have more than one activity. But it depends. It's reading, it's taking notes, and I'm an older teacher. I still like to lecture. I know there's been different sort of research into the effectiveness of lecturing over the course of the past 20, 30 years, risen and fallen back and forth. But I do love to tell a story, and so you will find storytelling in pretty much all of my classes. It's a bit of a performative aspect of it, but it's what makes it fun and exciting for me.
So if you had to take one art-based class here, like drawing and painting or pottery or theater or radio, which one do you think you would take if you were a student here?
I would want to take more than one. I have a background in the arts. I've taught studio art. I've taught public speaking and debate, and I love to appear in plays and such. So it would be a real challenge for me because I love to draw. I am not a skilled potter at all, so I'm intrigued by that. Just when you see kids come into assembly or come into lunch and they're covered in clay from whatever they've been doing in there, would be really fun to learn as well. So I don't think I could just focus on one. That would be a challenge for me.
Well, this has been a very great interview. Thanks so much for being here.
Yeah, thank y'all for having me. Really enjoyed it.
And for everyone listening, you're listening to WMTN, the voice of the mountain, and this was Headmaster's Corner. We will be back next week on Wednesday, some point after 11:20 or so be sure to keep it tuned to the voice of the mountain.